Hello guys, so most Blender tutorials miss these tips. These are the most underrated Blender tips no one's talking about. We will see all that in this tutorial. If you have been using Blender for a while, this will blow your mind. These are the most underrated tips that help you achieve some great result with few clicks. Let's start with tip number 1. Lock viewport to object.
You have probably tried the lock camera to view, so where we can just lock the camera and rotate our scene to line up with the camera. And you probably try local camera, so here you can select the camera. You can see these are the same viewports and I have two different camera working. But with this lock camera to view, have you ever tried lock to object? Let me show you. First I'll select the camera. Here in the layout you can see this is the camera, and I'm going to select this camera in my lock to object. Now what I have did, as I rotate the scene, you can see it's centered around that object. And now the best part, if you play the animation, your whole viewport move with that camera. So this is amazing. If you are animating a spaceship, this looks so cool. Like here you can see I can just go anywhere, but my scene is snapped to that 3D cursor, and the camera is animated, so the viewport is moving according to that. So this is freaking amazing. I just googled it because the issue was if I don't have this, and we have our camera like over here. So here we have our camera. Okay, now when it's animated, it's going too far, so it's hard to track that object. Now you can see the viewport isn't going to zoom in, but once I select it in here, now it's easy for me to follow that. So here, that's it. Very cool trick and very amazing for moving object.
Tip number 2. How to enable scene statistics. When you're working with the scene, you sometimes need to know the statistic of the scene. So for that you go here and enable the statistic, where you can see the object vertices face. But you can get much more than that by just going down here and right clicking, and here you can see the scene statistics, same things we have here. And if you click right again, and you can see scene duration, which is here, the duration of the keyframe and all. And also you can see system memory it's using, and also the video VRAM. So I mostly enable all of them, and you can see the Blender version, and you can just hide it if you want to, but I enable most of them. So I have like everything going on. I know what's going on in this one. Tip number 3. How to parent object in Outliner.
Let me tell you the easiest way to parent your object inside Blender. So here you can see when we normally do the parenting, we select the object we want to parent, and then we select the object we want to parent to, and hit Ctrl P, object keep transform. This is the way we are using till now, which is easy but include too many steps. And if you really want to do something more easier than this, you just go to the outliner and select your object you want to parent to, and just drag both, like in this case both billboard. I'll just shift drag them onto the building object. That's it. That's the easiest way how to parent the object in just 2 clicks, or a click and a drag, and it will do the job. So this is very helpful in a very crazy heavy scene where you don't see the object, or they are very far apart, so you know it's hard to zoom in if you select 2 objects in Blender. So yeah, this is the easiest way I find, and I do lot of the time, and that makes the workflow easier. Tip number 4, how to offset drivers. How you can how to offset driver in Blender. So here you can see I have a setup. Looks pretty complex, but it's very simple. So if you look at these shifts, those are around the cameras. These 4 shifts I've animated along the curve. And how I am animating them, so I set up a driver using frame divided by 10, and for each of these I need to offset it a little bit. So for that I'm using a extra variable. Like here you see I divided the frame by -15, and here I added +20. So what that does is it's not actually slow down the animation, but what it will do is offset it by adding another. So if I directly just add if you see I directly add frame divided by 20, what it will do is it will just slow down my animation. And for each and every object I have added uh, a driver which is exactly same. Like I just copy this and click on this and copy to selected, so the constraint is linked. And for offsetting them I just did this, added different variable to the ships, so they are offset. So in this way they are linked, but with the driver values they are offset. So yeah, that's a clever technique to use drivers in your Blender scene. If you are doing things like this or anything, but if you are using the same data like this constraint, you can just go with this trick. Little bit handy to do the stuff. Tip number 5, how to enable subframes. Whenever you animate a character, you see that the animation goes frame by frame, and if you want to do something in between the frames you can't. So for that you just go to this playback and check show subframe. What this will do, you see this thing change into points. Now what we can do is, here you can see as I'm scrubbing through the timeline, it's slowly scrubbing, and the animation I can see on every single step. And here you see this changing to points. So the subframe will give you access to the in between keyframes from point 1 to point 2. So that's pretty helpful if you want to really refine your animation very deeply. Tip number 6, how to show hidden keyframes. So whenever you work with a timeline, there you face certain issues while having lots of things showing at the same time. Here I see all the animation. Okay, so what you can do is, here you can see some option, or you can go into the filter. These 3 options are the same. So first of all we can see here is show only selected, and so we select our object and it will only show the selected object. It's enabled by default, but just in case if you see bunch of keyframes here, you just come here and click on this or in this icon. And there is also a show hidden feature which includes channel from object, as it says channels from object that are not visible. So it will just enable those options for you. Now in this case I don't have any, but if I had, it will show here like the node. If you see here, if I don't click on the node, it will not show the keyframe. So some places like this where we can't find the keyframe we animated, we can just click on this, so it will show us the hidden keyframe. And with this it will show the errors, but there is none, so it won't show any errors.
Tip number 7, how to export best format models. So whenever you work with a model that you want to export for your project or using in another program, here you can see that I already have a pretty complex texture setup on same model here, but here you can see I just baked all the texture and plugged that, forming a PBR formation for exporting. But if you don't use like Blender native nodes like mix color ramp and mix node color ramp and all, and if you just use a single texture with a cube projection and you have your UV map, it is basically a normal UV map. If I show you right here, like this one, I smart UV project and mapped all. But if you like want, this is the original normal UV map. So with that common UV map, what you do is you just go to file, export, and export your model as a GLTF file, which is here, or you can use USD. USD does the great job while exporting, that you don't need to worry about the UVs and material and all, because it's the universal scene description, which means it can support everything. So I mostly use USD to export things, where you don't have to do pretty much anything. Just select the object you want to export, make sure it's visible, and if you have animation, export it. Otherwise just check this, and if you have rig, export it. Otherwise uncheck that, and material, just leave it that way and just export it. And in the GLTF format, which is here, in this GLTF format you just need to check GLTF binary and include the selected and visible object, and here or you can just say only selected object. And in the material, you don't need to do anything. If you have shape keys, you can export, otherwise leave it. Skinning, if you have, or leave it. Animation, you have to, so you can check, otherwise leave it. If you have animation, you need to select proper action here in the animation mode, otherwise leave it and export it. So that works very well. If I just show you the model, where it is, let's find out. By the way, you can't see USD model in this 3D viewer. For that, that's not the right model. So here you can see some files. So this is not the right model. The USD file I used for the project, which I imported into Unreal Engine. So that's where this satellite disk works. And in this case, if you don't see the texture over here, there is no problem. The model is without texture, which I set up in Unreal Engine, and here you can see I have all the texture baked in. So that's the best format for exporting your model for games and all. And you can just leave, if you project a single texture as I projected, but I baked because I have this IVs or some vegetation going on over here, so that's why. Otherwise you can just simply cube project if you have a single texture, and you can export. You don't have to worry about UVs. But if you are using going for game ready model, you do need to make your UVs look good, like this, proper managed for a project. Tip number 8, how to edit large scene objects. If you have a very complex scene in Blender and it's hard to work for any object, like here you can see I have two character model with hairs going on and cloth simulation and rigging, etc. So this scene is too heavy for me to edit anything. If I go to edit mode, it will just freeze for a second. So let's select hierarchy, and you can just copy your object and take it to another blend file and make some changes however you like. Suppose I want to change pose here, so let's see, you can just make your changes. And the best part is that Blender knows the default position, rotation, scale and everything. So if you just bring this character back to your main file after the changes you bring this character to your main file again, it will be exactly here with the change pose and all. So that's pretty handy trick. You have a very complex scene and you want to edit things. I have many things turned off, that's why it's pretty slow, but there is a forest and many vegetations going on here and there.
Tip number 9, how plus minus works everywhere. Here is a tip that works in every area in Blender, the plus and minus key. You can press the plus and minus key to zoom and zoom out in camera view or without the camera view in the viewport. This will help you quickly analyze your scene from close and far. And in the node tree, you can just zoom in, zoom out into your node tree. And for the timeline, yes, timeline is very useful for that. You can zoom in, zoom out in that as well. And in the properties panel, this is very helpful. You can just decrease or increase the size of fonts, you can say, or the properties. And in the outliner, there is a massive use of it, because you can just expand with few clicks, few plus, and you can expand your whole collections. And by pressing minus, you can just collapse them. So if you have bunch of opening and you just wanna make it clean, you can just press minus, it collapsed. Press plus, it expands.
Tip number 10, how to parent objects to another object, Vertex. So let me show you how to parent some object to other objects, Vertex. This will come quite handy when you are animating the shape keys, as here you can see the thrusters move with the X-wings, but I have X-wings wings animated with shape keys and the thruster won't follow it. So this is kind of pain. So for that, you just have to do is, if you can just go to solid view, you can see these are separate objects. So what you have to do is select the X-wing, and this is the shape key. So I come in this 6 shape key and select all the vertices where you want the other object to get parented, and select this object and select the main object, Control P with vertex. So what this happened is that just parent it from the vertices we have selected in edit mode. So this will move with it very easily. Here you can see, here is the fully parented version with the thruster. So quite useful in many cases. Let me show you another example. So here you can see we have the Suzanne, the monkey head, and a plane displaced, and we'll just displaced with a global value. So I want to like this monkey to follow the surface, right? If I parent this, so nothing happened, like it's just stick to one place, right? But I want it to dynamically go up and down with the surface. So for that, I'll just go to edit mode and select the vertex, you can say, for easy follow up. So just select the vertex, select the monkey, shift select this and Control P, parent with vertex. So now if I move this, you can see the monkey is moving with that up and down, right? You can use multiple vertex or give some dynamic effects. So as in this thing, there are multiple vertex moving. So here you can see it's get dynamically changed with the surface. Very handy tip for animating boats and other stuff on water surface. And the example you see with the X-wing
Tip number 11, how to control alembic animation speed.
Did you know you can control your Alembic file animation inside Blender? For that, you just need to select your Alembic object, go to Modify As tab, and in time, you'll find override frame. So click on turn this on, and on frame 1, frame 1, and frame 250. This is how long my animation is. Click on 250. So it just mapped frame to frame. Now for changing the speed, this character is moving half of the speed, so I'll just divide this by 2 or put 125. See, so now it's working fine. And if you want to increase the speed, just multiply it 2 or 4 or whatever you like, and the animation will be short and faster. So this is how you can do it. And you can play with the offset. If you go to negative, it will just fast forward it the frames, and if you go forward, it will just start the animation from that point. So that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. Follow more.
Tip number 12, speed up shader editor workflow in Blender.
How to speed up your shader editor workflow? First, go to Edit Preferences and enable the Node Wrangler add-on for quick node setup. And you can assign quick shortcuts to your favorite node like Color Ramp, Alt-C for Color Ramp, Control B for Bump Node, Shift N for Noise Texture, and Shift E for Emission Texture. If you press Control T with Node Wrangler enabled, you can get this mapping setup with image texture and texture coordinate. So this is how you can speed up your workflow. These are few nodes, quite handy while working, so I just assign these two shortcuts, and whenever I need, I just press this and they pop out. And as you seeing this Jedi Outpost model here, you can get this broken or unbroken model soon available on my sketchfab, Gumroad, or fabs too. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Patreon. So you know my recent project, I'm working on the Utah in Ghetto's live action fight sequence, which I'll be posting the tutorial soon, along with the Mikasa video, which there's 2 tutorials already on my Patreon. You can go and watch them, and the new assets are also available, and the upcoming asset is the Vendin Refineries pack. You can download the follow pack, that is the industrial stairs, but if you just want to get the whole product, you can just purchase the abandoned refineries. It will use the industrial stairs. So yeah, that's the updates, and we got 1300 subscribers now, so I'm glad. Thank you for subscribing, and soon we will reach our target, and I still need to complete many watch hours. So you guys are amazing, and I know we can do it together and build a big family where we can just hang on, chill out, share our knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.